If you haven't seen our logo before, you might notice, I think it's backwards, but bear with me. You might notice this little leaf right here and wonder why we chose that leaf. And I also have that on my necklace here. It's a little resin necklace. It's a tiny little leaf. And that is the leaf of the tulip poplar tree. I also have a nice, fresh, juicy leaf here. We chose this leaf because it's the tallest hardwood, meaning the tallest in the east coast of the United States, meaning hardwood, meaning a deciduous tree, one that loses its leaves, not like a pine tree. And they, in my opinion, they're like the grandmas. They're like one of these ancestral heritage species, as they're called, of the East Coast in general, but also the Mid-Atlantic. And the crazy thing is, I didn't even know the name of this plant, let alone know how to identify it or interact with it when I was growing up. And I think that's crazy that people that live in this area don't have a relationship with this tree, since they're so tall. They can get up to like 160 feet tall, and they get incredibly huge. I have a picture here. And you can get so big that you can need like 3 to 5 people to wrap your arms around these trees. They also have these gorgeous blossoms, which are why they're called tulip poplars, because people think they resemble tulips a little bit. But they're actually, believe it or not in the poplar family at all. They are in the magnolia family. And I want to share about this plant, this tree today, and to talk about its fire making principles and uses. The native people in the East Coast, they sometimes would use dugout canoes. So they would light a fire at the base of trees and knock them over, and then burn them, and then scrape out the charcoal and use them actually as canoes. So some people call this the canoe tree. And I've collected all this really nice fibrous inner bark of the tulip poplar, and I'm going to share about how to turn that into a tinder bundle. And I've actually already done it to save you guys time looking for it. But you're basically turning it into this little thing that looks like a nest. You can see that. So how you do it is you get lots of this really fine material, and you kind of do what's called the bicycle method. So it's like you're pedaling on a bike. You see that? And then you do it back and forth, and you just go along it, and you're breaking up all these fibers to make them really fine and thin, so that way oxygen can get in. Because as you may know, fire loves oxygen, likes to breathe like humans. So you kind of do that all around, and then you will fashion it into a tinder bundle. And you also want to make sure you get all the little fine bits that fall on the floor, and then you can put those in the center. And then I also have this little Altoids tin here, and it has a hole poked on both sides. And I have in it this really fine black cloth called char cloth. And this is a really fun party trick for you guys to do at home. You can learn how to do this pretty easily. So you just need any tin box, poke a hole on both sides. And this, believe it or not, used to be a pair of jeans that I cut up into little pieces, and then I put it in this box at the hole on both sides, and then I put it in a fire that I made. And so once you put this, and this will work with any like cotton clothing, you just don't want to put plastic clothing in this. So natural cloth fibers, you can do this. And then it'll start smoking out of both sides of the box. You can flip it over in the fire. And once it stops smoking, you can pull it out carefully, let it cool down. And when you open it up, you'll have all those little black fibers or little black pieces of cloth inside. And why you want to do that is because without all that moisture that just got to evaporate off, you are left with this very flammable little swatches of cloth. And I have here this Mora knife. I have carbon steel, and this particular one I have comes with a little knife sharpening stone, as well as this man-made metal that you can use called ferrocerium, and you can use that. It can make sparks that are 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which is crazy. They're also known as ferro rods. And so I can use the back of my knife. Let's see if you guys can see this. You can see I can make really big sparks. And it's really easy, actually, to make a spark on this. I just did it really briefly. And if you guys can see that, already, it's already starting to catch and smolder. So if you were doing a bow drill coal, this would be very similar to that, but this is a lot easier than learning how to do bow drill, although I highly recommend trying to learn how to do that as well. So you get this smoldering little ember right here. We have our nest here. So I'm going to place that in the center, and I'm going to kind of fold the nest over so that way when I blow on it, the ember can catch on both sides. And very important thing, it's going to smoke a little bit, so you want to hold it above your head so the smoke's not like going right in your face. So I'm going to gently blow on this, super delicate. You only want to blow as hard as until you see it reacting. I also have a bowl of water here, by the way. Don't do this inside. And look, there you go. Bye. And that's how you become a wizard, everyone. Now I'm gonna dunk that out so my smoke alarm doesn't go off. But yeah, highly recommend learning how to make char cloth. It's really easy and really fun. And get a little ferro rod. They're also pretty inexpensive. You can get them online and other places. And yeah, be safe, be outside, get some water nearby in case anything goes wrong. Put it in a fire pit when you're done, or put some sticks on there and build a fire.